Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to All Praise Picks. Today we're looking at the NBA. We have the Indiana Pacers playing against the Chicago Bulls in Chicago on December 6th, 2024. Currently, the Pacers are 9 and 14, which is 10th in the Eastern Conference, and the Bulls are 10 and 13, which is 8th in the Eastern Conference. So thus far, the Bulls have been playing a little bit better than the Pacers, but for the most part, both these teams are pretty mid in my opinion. Nonetheless, this should still be a good game to bet on, and I'm excited to show you guys the parlays that I have. I have three parlays on BetMGM that I made, and as always, I'll break down the lines, give you my thoughts, and hopefully, if you tap in, we can all win. So this is the first parlay that I have. It's focused on Zach LaVine points and the overall total going under in this game. So I took Zach LaVine to have 15 points. I did that because the Pacers give up the seventh most points to the power forward position over the last 15 games. So the Pacers defense hasn't been as good as it was last year, and LaVine should have a favorable offensive matchup in this game. He scored less than 15 points versus the Pacers only once since 2019, and that was a game in January of 2013 where he had 14 points, so just 1 point under this line. He did only have 11 points in San Antonio yesterday when he played, but I did notice that LaVine hasn't had back-to-back games under 15 points this season, and I think being at home should prove to be a nice bounce-back spot for him in this game. I also like this game to go under the total. I think currently the total's at 248 or 247 on some books. So I just took an alt under of 250 essentially. This is the third game in 4 nights for the Pacers, so they should be very fatigued. And the Bulls are coming off of a game playing in San Antonio, and now they're playing in Chicago, so they had to travel, and it is a back-to-back game. So I do think that both of these teams don't have the rest advantage that should warrant a total this high. Also, the Pacers' offense has been inconsistent lately, and this game should go under 250 points if one team has a slow start to a quarter, whether that's the Pacers or the Bulls. I do think that the Pacers probably do start off slow in this one, um, which could lead to the total going under 250 points. Also, Kobe White is questionable with an ankle sprain, and if he doesn't play, the Bulls' offense should go through Zach LaVine and Vucevic, which should slow down the pace for them and the game overall, which I think will lead to the total going under 250. So this parlay is a plus 110. So if you invest 1 unit, say 1 unit is $50, for example, then you would have a 110% return on your investment, yielding a winning of $105. And as always, I would just suggest having bankroll consciousness and an overall understanding of the number of bets you're placing when deciding to place these bets. So I also like Vucevic to have over 15 points in this game. He also has a good matchup versus the Pacers, who give up the fifth most points to the Senators over the last 15 games. And Vucevic has had over 15 in each of his last 9 games this season. I like it better if you can get a 10-point line on another sports book. He has had over 12 points in every game versus the Pacers while playing with the Bulls, but he did land on 12 twice in the last 4 games versus the Pacers. But keep in mind, DeMar DeRozan was on this team last season, so he was scoring a significant amount of points, especially in the fourth quarter for the Bulls. And I also included the total to go under 250 for this one. This parlay has a little bit higher of a payout at plus 115. If you invest 1 unit, you have a 115% return on your investment. And the same thing applies for this one. To just have bankroll consciousness and an overall understanding of how many bets you're placing before deciding to place these bets. So this is the last parlay that I have on BetMGM. It's a plus 150 parlay, and I just picked the top 3 players on the Bulls, especially if Kobe White doesn't play. I think that Josh Giddey should have a good game in this one. The Pacers give up the 6th most assists to the point guard position over the last 15 games, and I think the ball will be in Giddey's hands as a facilitator with White out. Putting aside all that he's gone through off the court, he has been a good addition to the Bulls from OKC. He's averaging 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists this season. And I think when guarding Halliburton, who tends to take either contested layups or deep threes for the most part, it should limit his rebound potential, but also allow him to run up the court sooner and facilitate the offense in a more efficient way. So I think that I lean towards scoring from LaVine and Vucevic in this one, and Giddey being the one to generate the assist. I also included Vucevic to have 10 plus rebounds. I do like it at 8 plus rebounds if you can get it on another book. He has had over 8 rebounds in his last 7 games, but in 5 out of those last 7 games, he's had over 10 rebounds. And Vucevic has also had over 10 in his last 3 games versus the Pacers, averaging 14 rebounds per game during that span. During this season, the Pacers have been middle of the pack in terms of rebounds given up to centers, but Vucevic is a top 10 center in terms of how many rebounds he gets per game. He's averaging just under 10 rebounds per game, and I think that with a matchup of Miles Turner, who tends to hang around the 3 point line and doesn't really get into the paint as often, Vucevic should have an easy chance of getting rebounds, and I don't think that Giddey would be the one to necessarily take those rebounds from him, even though Giddey is a pretty good rebounder in his own right. And the last part of this parlay is for LaVine to have 20 plus points. Like I mentioned, I just like his matchup in this game, and I think that he should be able to bounce back from his low scoring output that he had yesterday in San Antonio. I think that versus Siakam, who's pretty slow footed, and Halliburton, who honestly has been getting cooked on defense all year, I like LaVine to have over 20 points rather than, say, Vucevic, who has a defensive matchup versus Miles Turner, who can match him size for size. And Vucevic isn't the quickest, so I think that LaVine would have a better chance of getting 20 points, whether that's from 3 pointers, free throws, or even layups, which I don't think will be really contested by the likes of Siakam and Halliburton. So that's the parlay that I have at plus 150. This is the highest parlay for this game that I have in terms of overall odds. So I would suggest having bankroll consciousness when deciding to place it. But if you do place it, it would be 150% return on your investment for a 1 unit bet. And that's a pretty good return on your investment, especially if the parlay hits. Appreciate you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the things you got to do to make this channel grow. I really appreciate you guys for watching and sharing this video. And until next time, peace.